I don't understand. Can it refer to like when he comes back and then will die?
No.
Or
Because it says Jesus died when he was 33 years old. So no. Matt is in the past. He died. So why is Allah saying to him the following ayah? Stay away, ya Muhammad, from idols.
You're supposed to be a follower of Jesus, and you're using words like that.
Well,
And
it's
you
not my
expect people to
words.
believe in this
It's not my words. It's the words of Allah. Are you embarrassed of Allah? Hello, welcome everyone, God bless you. I hope that my sound is loud and clear. Welcome. Sorry for the delay, forgive me. I noticed that I am banned for a couple of days on TikTok. I was trying to sort it out, but it didn't work out, so it is what it is. Tried to appeal it, did not work out. TikTok, sometimes it's so annoying. So easily to get you flagged and banned, as we call it. Welcome, invite guys. Tap that screen if you didn't already. Tap it. Tap the screen. I'm not on TikTok. Tap that like button. Tap it lightly. 434 on that like button, guys. Smash that like button, baby. Smash it. Smash it like Muhammad smashed baby girl Aisha at the age of 9. Smash the like button. I hope everybody's doing great. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if there's an echo. Is there an echo, guys? Is there an echo? Someone said there's an echo. Is there an echo? Let me know, guys. Is there an echo? Invite more people, guys, please. Invite more people. No echo? Okay, beautiful. No echo. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man. Oh, man. What's going on, Rob Christian? What's poppin', bro? What's poppin'? Yeah, I hope that the sound is good. All right. Today's topic, guys. Today's topic is a bit academic. So the people who are here for jokes and entertainment think you joined the wrong live stream. Okay? A bit academic. If there are Muslims out there who think that they can come up and debate me about today's academic topic, you're very welcome. But let me tell you something. 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 Yeah, let me tell you something. Make sure to bring your imam with you, Muslims, because this is, according to the scholars even, the most difficult topic in Islam. The qiraat and the haruf and the manuscripts, you get the idea. Let me tell you something. What's up, Robert? Well, actually, my name is not Rob. My name has... Welcome, I love you, my friend. Thank you for the uplifting and beautiful words, kind words. My name is not Rob. Many people think that that's my first name, Rob Christian. No. Rob stands for robbing Muslims back to Christianity. Hence, Rob Christian. It has a meaning. There's a hidden meaning behind my YouTube name. Okay, robbing Muslims back into Christianity. Of course, nothing with truth, right? With nothing but truth and knowledge. Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Welcome, everyone. Reversing what's up? Robin Hood. Exactly, bro. Salam al-Masih to all of you. Mo 53 married Aisha 6. That's true. Welcome, my friend. God bless you. Samawi, what's up? Like ya kafir ya Samawi. Kifak. Always a blessing to see all of these beautiful brothers and sisters in the chat. What's up? All of you, God bless. I'm trying to scroll back to see if there are more people. Phil is here with us. Welcome, Phil. God bless you, brother. Dear brother in Christ, God bless you. Let everybody know, guys, on Discord as well. Shlonak aini, shlonak. Yeah, God bless you, brother. I'm good. What about you? I'm good. I'm finally 100% again. Guys, last live stream, I was a bit under the weather. I've been sick almost a month. Can you imagine? For almost a month, I was sick. I started to feel better, then I became sick again because my children always bring beautiful new Fayrouz with them. Fayrouz, not virus, but Fayrouz. They bring Fayrouz with them back home from the kindergarten, from school, and then, yeah, the daddy is done for a month. Yalla, yalla. You too, Mad Monkey. They got you too. What's up, OT Genesis? What's up, baby? God bless you. All right. Today's topic, guys. Can't mention all of your names. Forgive me, guys. Yeah, I'm banned on TikTok, so I can't stream on TikTok. So because I'm banned for more than 4 days, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, for over 4 days, so I can't stream on TikTok. So we're going to do only on YouTube today. All right. Guys, join our Discord server if there's a Muslim. If there is a Muslim, he can join us on Discord. Also, Christians are allowed to join our Discord server for fellowship, to share knowledge with one another. We will drop all the links to sources also in the Discord chat. Admins, you know what you got to do. Copy the links and put them on Discord as well. Hey, Andrew. What's up, Andrew Martin? Long time no see. Are you okay, brother? What's up, baby? Long time no see. Are you okay, bro? God bless you, man. Nice to see you. Crazy Sister Crazy is with us as well. Oh. Invite more people, guys. Share the link. Smash the like button. Smash that like button. All right. What's going on? Yeah. So, all right. Before we start, guys, before we start today's topic, I want to pray first. What do you think? Should we pray first? Yes, we should. All right. Let's pray, guys. Bismillah wa ibn wa ruh al-Qudus ilan wahid, ameen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, three persons, one God, whom we worship, we pray. Let's pray the Lord's Prayer, guys. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, now and ever, unto the ages of ages. Amen. I believe in one God, Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, and of all things visible and invisible, and in one Lord Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God, begotten of the Father, before all ages, light of light, true God of true God, begotten, not created, of one essence with the Father, through whom all things were made, who for us men and for our salvation came down from heaven, and was incarnate of the Holy Spirit and the Virgin Mary, and became man. He was crucified for us under Pontius Pilate, and suffered and was buried, and he rose on the third day, according to the Scriptures. He ascended into heaven, and is seated at the right hand of the Father, and he will come again with glory to judge the living and the dead. His kingdom shall have no end. And in the Holy Spirit, the Lord, the creator of life, who proceeds from the Father, who together with the Father and the Son is worshipped and glorified, who spoke through the prophets. In one holy, Catholic, and Apostolic Church, I confess one baptism for the forgiveness of sins. I look for the resurrection of the dead and the life of the age to come. Amen. Amen. Welcome everybody. God bless you. Speaking from Cave Hira. We are live. We are back, baby. Let's go. All right. Today's topic is very clear, very academic, guys. No game for children today. No child's play for today. Today is a very, very, very academic live stream. The last live stream was more about the morals of Islam. Today's live stream is a bit academic. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, brother. Yeah. Muslims pay top dollar. And I'm not talking about layman Muslims. I'm talking about Muslims who call themselves, who claim to be students of knowledge. Okay. They pay top dollar. They pay at least $200 a session for the stuff that I'm about to show you today and teach you today. So Muslims pay money and still they don't get enough information. Okay. Imagine what kind of live stream you're going to get today. Okay. All right. Watch how many Muslims or even Christians will leave the live stream because, brother, it's too academic, brother. We don't want that stuff, bro. We want entertainment, bro. Yeah. Sorry, guys, not today. Invite more people, guys. We just started. You didn't miss much. We finished the prayer, so let us actually take deep dives from now on. All right. Guys, if we start with the manuscripts, okay? If we start with the manuscripts, if we look at the manuscripts, okay? If we just look at the Quranic manuscripts, let's see if I can put something on the screen for us here. Okay. The Samarkand manuscript. The Samarkand manuscript. The Samarkand manuscript, guys, is found, yes, it exists. It's found in Uzbekistan, if I'm not mistaken, in Samarkand, in Uzbekistan. And it's one of the earliest Quranic manuscripts that Muslims have in their possession. Let me tell you something. There is no, listen carefully, take notes. There is no single manuscript that is complete. That is, 1, complete. 2, from the 7th century. Not single one. Not one single manuscript. Can you imagine? Not complete, not Uthmanic. It's not Uthmanic. Doesn't date back to the 7th century. It's not Uthmanic. And there is no single manuscript. All manuscripts, all of them disagree with today's, let's say, Hafs Quran. The Hafs Quran, okay? The most popularized version for the Quran. The Qira'at Hafs. Okay? The riwayah an Hafs an Asim. Okay? Hafs an Asim. Hafs from Asim. The teacher, Asim, the student, Hafs. There is not one single complete manuscript from the 7th century, and all of the existing manuscripts, including this one on the screen, all of it is not Uthmanic, not complete. Okay? Far from it, actually. For example, you have the top copy manuscript on the left. That one is in Turkey, found in Turkey. Let me take out my highlight tool. You see, guys, we're already taking deep dives, as you noticed. Deep dives, I know. This one is in Turkey, but I'm talking about this one here, okay? Uzbekistan, Samarkand. As you see here, the Samarkand manuscript, Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Oh, not Samarkand, Tashkent, forgive me. I thought that it was, no. They named it the Samarkand manuscript, but it's in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Forgive me, guys, earlier. I made a small mistake. Rob, you're done. You're finished, Rob. Yeah, sorry for that, guys. Tashkent, Uzbekistan. 8th century, as you see. So it's not from the 7th century. It's from the 8th century. And it only has 43 surahs. So as you see, it's not complete. Okay. And only one surah is complete. Can you imagine? Just one surah is complete. And 16 that don't exist. And many, many, many grammatical mistakes. So we can safely say that this manuscript, guys, this manuscript is written by a low tier. The Samarkand, and I will show you guys how it actually disagrees, okay? The Samarkand manuscript is written by someone who is low tier. Yet Muslims are so proud about their manuscripts. Someone who is very, very low tier, okay? Someone who is low tier. He made many grammatical mistakes. He's all over the place. And as you see, it's far, far complete. It's not from the 7th century. It's not Uthmanic. You get the idea. Right, guys? Rob, you're finished. You said Samarkand. No, it's Tashkent, Rob. You're finished. Okay, I'm done, guys, for today. We're going to clip you, Rob. Clip me until you... yeah. It's okay, brother. So as you see on the following slide, what we can see here is chapter 19, ayah 12. The upper part is 19, ayah 11. The one highlighted is 1912. So if we go back, for example, to QuranWow.com or any Quranic website, okay, or if you have a mushaf in your house, Muslims, I challenge you to fact check with me. Fact check with me if you don't believe me. It says, Ya Yahya, O Yahya. False translation, of course. It should say Yahya, not John. Okay, Yahya. What can you expect from Muslims? Yahya. Okay. And then it continues with Khudil Kitaba. Now pay attention at the following two words, guys. Let me remove again. Pay attention at Ya and Al-Kitaba. Okay. Let me also write it here. Ya means O in Arabic. O. Okay. O. And then here Al-Kitab. Al-Kitab, let's say. Okay. The book, which means book, as you noticed. Okay. So pay close attention to these two words. This one and O. So add O and the book. Okay. I'll show you how not one, but two variants are inside the Samarkand manuscript in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. So this early manuscript that doesn't have dots, it doesn't have any vowels, actually contradicts, okay? It contradicts today's Hafs Quran, because here the word ya is missing. Ya is missing. It says Yahya. There is no ya. And it says al-kutub instead of al-kitab. The ya is missing. And instead of saying the book, it says books. Books. So, again, the Samarkand manuscript, the ya, o, the ya or the o Yahya, o John, is missing. Completely missing. Yet Muslims say, Rob, the manuscripts that we have, they completely agree with today's Hafs Quran. You are lying, Muslims. You have been lying to us. And the proof is on the screen. So the word ya is missing. And instead of saying al-kitab, it says what? It doesn't say al-kitab, it says al-kutub, plural. It says al-kutub. Al-kutub, plural. Okay? Not al-kitab. Okay? For example, the next word, al-kutub. So there's an alif added today. Do you see? Here the alif is missing. Here the alif is missing. Here it's there. You see it? Today's Quran has an alif. Do you see how one tiny alif, one tiny letter changes the meaning? So we just destroyed, in other words, we just destroyed the so-called Quranic preservation. It's a big fat lie. There is no Quranic preservation. It's a big fat lie. So, Rob Christian just destroyed the so-called Quranic preservation. It's a big fat lie. They have lied to us. We just destroyed it. Because the Samarkand manuscript says al-kutub without the alif. Today's Quran, the Hafs Quran, says al-kitab. You don't need to be a genius to see the difference. Perfectly preserved, brother. It does change the meaning. When you say books or book, it changes the meaning. When I say the entire chat, or I say, for example, one person in the chat, is that same? Right? If I say chat versus one person, is that the same? Is that the same? No. I know you're joking, brother. I know. You're trolling the Muslims. Well, the Muslims are only trolling themselves because they have lied to us and they have lied to themselves. The early manuscripts prove that they are not like the Quran. And there is not one complete manuscript from the 7th century. When they talk about the Birmingham manuscript, well, the Birmingham manuscript, let me tell you something. Regarding the Birmingham manuscript, it's only 2 volumes, basically 2 pages only, okay? Only 2 pages, 2 volumes, okay? It has only 2, maximum of 3 chapters, not even complete 3 chapters. And they all talk about either the Jews or they're talking about Isa and his mother, Maryam. So only, let's say, let us be generous, only 3 chapters. It has only 3 chapters that they are not even complete. So it's incomplete and it's not from the 7th century. If you look at the text, it has dots. The Birmingham manuscript, I study it. You didn't, clearly. Else why would you even name it as Muslims? The Birmingham manuscript contains dots. You know what that means, guys? Anybody knows what that means? When you look at the Birmingham manuscript, if you look at it, it has dots in it. I'm not kidding. And it's only 3 surahs. It's not even complete 3 surahs. Okay. It has dots in the text. Look, here is the manuscript, the Birmingham manuscript in front of us. Okay. If you look closely, it has dots. It contains dots in the text. Look, for example, here. Look. What does that mean when we have dots? Anybody knows what it means when you have dots? Anybody in the chat? Look, dots here. Here is a dot. Everywhere, you see everywhere there are dots. Here is a dot. Here are dots. What does that mean? Here, here, everywhere. What does that mean? It means it's not that old. Okay? It's not that old. Okay? It means it's not that old. It's much later. What you need to know about manuscripts, guys. Look, this one is much older. The top copy is older. The Samarkand is older, right? Do you see why is it older? Because it has no dots in the text. The skeleton text, we call it ar-rasm. Okay? Ar-rasm. Rasm means the skeleton text without the dots, without the vowels, because dots and vowels came much later, which means the manuscript is not that old as they think it is. But what they used to do, guys, they used to keep animal skin blank, right? For example, if you have you're rich, you have money, maybe you bought animal skin to write on. Now, what they used to do, they used to keep this animal skin blank until something important must be written on it. So they used to keep it, behind closed doors, that it will survive. The weather will not affect it. You get the idea. So they used to keep it for a long time blank. Okay. Guys, is there an issue with my stream? I don't know what's going on today. I'm dropping frames, it says. Are there issues, guys? Is there any lag? Is there any lag or latency? Not really? Okay, beautiful. I'm not sure. Maybe it's my internet connection. Can you invite more people, guys, please? Can you do something about the algorithms? You lazy kuffar Christians. You lazy kuffar. Smash that like button, man. Do something about the algorithms, man. Invite more people. There's an occasional lag. Well, I see that there's an issue here from my side. I don't know what I can do about it. I have no clue, no idea. No idea what to do. Wait, maybe. But I might lose. I'll try something anyway. If something goes wrong, guys, I have to restart the live stream because it's very, very horrible. Let me try something. Let me tell you something. Let me try something. Let's see if we can do something about it. Hold on. Are we still good to go? Is this better? Can you still hear me? Can you hear me? Can you still hear me? I hope this might fix. Okay. I did not kill the live stream. Oh, man, I was so scared. But anyway, the Lord is with us, guys. Glory to Christ, man. Glory to Christ. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Glory to Christ. So, the Birmingham manuscript, they kept it blank for a long time, and then they wrote something on top of it, right? So that's why, one of the reasons why the animal skin itself is very old. It could even date before Muhammad was born. But that does not mean that the ink is old. The ink is not that old when you compare it with the animal skin, because it's not that old. It's not that old, okay? Like, for example, the Samarkand manuscript. The Samarkand manuscript. So you see, guys, chapter 19:12 exposes the lie that the Quran that we have today agrees with the manuscript. It's a big fat lie. It does not agree with the rasm of the old manuscripts. So the word ya is missing. And here it says al-kitab. It should be al-kutub. Okay? 2 variants in just one single ayah. Can you imagine? 2. Not 1, but 2, as you noticed. 1, 2. 2 variants. Here is variant 1. Here is variant 1. And here is variant 2. This one says Yahya only. There is no Ya Yahya. No, there is no Ya Yahya. And here it says instead of Al-Kitab, it says Al-Kutub. Al-Kutub. Okay? 2 variants. Here and here. All right. And there's even more. The audio is good? Okay, beautiful. Invite more people, guys. Come on. Is this a bad timing to go live, guys? Should I not go live anymore on around this time? Because I had a window. I was like, man, I have to go live. Whenever I have a window, I will go live. Is this a bad timing to go live? If it's bad and the Christians are not sharing the link, maybe we should stop. What do you think? If the Christians won't share the link, maybe it's better to stop. I don't know, man. What do you think, admins? If you don't smash the like button, maybe it's... yeah, I know Andrew Martin, but can we do something about the numbers? I think we can if we, share the link. Christians, how long? It's 2026. How long are we still going to be terrified of Muslims? These black stone kissers. I know many of you might have children, they might have families, and they're scared to death when they share the link to Rob Christian's live stream, because Rob Christian is not that political correct. He's not an evangelifish like many Christians here in the West who are scared to death. They won't even lift a finger against Islam. But guys, is it too much asked? Don't do it for me though. Is it too much asked to share just one link on your own social media platforms? Hey, there's a guy called this idiot who is risking his life. His name is Rob Christian. This idiot is live. Come and watch his live stream and just listen to what he has to say. This idiot who is risking his life, risking the life of his family, Yeah. Too much asked. Yeah, you see, I'm even losing views now. Moments ago, we were 120 people watching. Now we have 97 people only. People don't like this, guy. People don't like me. As you notice, people don't like me because I'm too harsh. I'm too political. Not political correct like most Christian apologists. Rob, you are too aggressive, Rob. We don't like you. You're too smart. You're too academic. We don't like you. We like people who only entertain us. That's what we like. Yeah. Anyway. We don't like academic topics. Stop crying, Rob. Continue. No problem. Guys, let me give you a hadith that you have never seen before. Let me share a hadith with you that you have never seen before. The following book, this is the same book, guys, where you can find the story of a Zut during the night, with the jinn who jumped on the back of Muhammad. Same Musnad Ahmad. Different volume, though. Different volume. I gave you the link. On page 199 and 200, we have a hadith that is Hasan, fully fine, fully acceptable. Okay? See in the green? Hasan hadith. Hasan. Okay? Hasan hadith. Hasan. Chain of narration is Hasan, not Daif. Any Muslim can come up. You can join our Discord server, Muslims. You can join our Discord server for a discussion. And thank you, Brother Robertson, for restreaming the live stream, brother. God bless you. Amazing brothers and sisters as admins, man. What a team do we have. So there's a Hassan Hadith. Any Muslim? Guys, if we invite more people, the Muslims will also get notified. So I need you to share the link for today's live stream, guys. So if you go back to my this live stream, copy the link and share it on your social media platforms. You know, there's a guy who's risking his life in teaching us for free. Yalla ya habibis. Come habibi, come. Exactly, that's the whole point, brother Lone Wolf. You see, you caught it. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of this effeminate Christian or effeminate Christianity. This type of Christianity that they preach here in the West. And I blame the priests and the pastors who don't have a backbone anymore, who allow their streets to be infiltrated by these pagans who are, for example, our beautiful city, New York, completely overwhelmed by these pagans who worship the stone, the black stone, you know, like cockroaches marching the streets and bow down as if they want to be taken from behind like their prophet during the night of the jinn by a zut, in a zut sense. Grow a spine, Christians here in the West. When are you going to stand up, rise up, because it's time for Deus Vult. Deus Vult. Don't make the mistake that we made, us Christians in the Middle East. Our church leaders made a huge mistake. You know what they did? They also were afraid. They didn't allow us to defend ourselves. They didn't want us to defend ourselves. And they gave our beautiful countries away. They bent over and they took it. Yeah? I'm talking about the church leaders. So don't make our mistake. We Christians, the original Sahih Christians, the Aramaic speaking Christians and the Coptic Christians, we allowed Islam to take over. Don't make our mistake in the West. Don't. When are you going to learn from history? If it was not for the gates of Vienna, the Christians in Vienna, Islam would have taken the entire world. Wake up. Don't do it for me. Do it for your children. Do it for yourself. Do it for your beloved countries. Warn your children. Teach your children. Watch my videos. And share them like wildfire. Yeah, well, you know, people don't learn until it's very bad, brother. People don't learn until it's very bad. Something very bad needs to happen for everyone to, you know, this Western Christianity, this, yeah, you know what I mean. These freaking liberals, libtards, these Democrats, demo rats, yeah. Anyway. See, people are slowly getting it. Guys, if you have any idea how much backlash I used to receive like 10 years ago, even Christians were attacking me. Now Christians, for some reason, stopped even attacking me. You know, Christians used to come to my YouTube channel and say, Rob, you're too aggressive. Why are you so disrespectful toward Muhammad and Islam? Now, I don't hear that anymore. Because slowly people are waking up. You know, slowly people are not that gullible as they used to be. But anyway, let us go back to this hadith, guys. This Hassan hadith on the screen. I gave you the link. Here's the link one more time. In Musnad Ahmad, page 199 and 200. Okay, 199 to 200. Hadith is Hassan. Okay, we go back to the first page with the English translation that I always provide, or I try to provide. Okay. Look, guys, Muslims say the Sahaba, they knew the Quran inside out. Really? The Sahaba, according to our Muslim friends, the Sahaba, they knew the Quran inside out. Is that true? Let's see. Here, Ibn Mas'ud, remember Muhammad said, if you want to learn the Quran from form, go, for example, to the Ibn Mas'ud. The Ibn Mas'ud. But look, here's a narration from Ibn Mas'ud. قال Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Okay, Ibn Mas'ud said, we were learning one of the surahs of the Quran. So guys, the Sahaba were learning, they were learning one of the surahs of the Quran. So we said it has 35 ayahs or 36. How many ayahs, verses are in this surah, in this one surah that they are learning? He said, so we went to the messenger of Allah. So they went to Muhammad. Guys, are you with me? This is very important hadith, by the way. Very important. Don't take it lightly. So we went to the messenger of Allah and we found, what did you find on the next page? Ali whispering. So Ali was with Muhammad. Ali was whispering to Muhammad. So they went to Muhammad to get confirmation. Is it 35 or is it 30 verses in that surah? How many verses are there? Ibn Mas'ud is confused. The Sahaba are confused. The companions of Muhammad don't know. So they went to Muhammad to get the right answer. Ya Rasulullah, are there only 35 verses in that surah that you are teaching us? Or is it 36 ayahs or verses? So we said, Ibn Mas'ud says, we disagreed. Wait.
Emotional, damn it.
How are you disagreeing? How are the Sahaba disagreeing if they have memorized the Quran? Muslims. Ibn Mas'ud says we disagreed in the reading. If. On how many ayahs are in that surah. What I put in between brackets are my words, guys, just to give you an idea, okay? On how many ayahs are in that surah. So they were disagreeing. Some of the Sahaba said there are only 35. Others said only 36. Okay? So Muhammad's face became hot red. It became completely red. So Ali said, the messenger of Allah commands you to read it as he has taught you. But wait, they are confused. Like, they are coming specifically to the Prophet to know if the surah contains 35 or 36. And they are disagreeing. Muhammad instead says to Ali, you know what, tell Ali, tell them to learn it, to recite it the way I taught you. But wait, they don't know. They're coming to you so that they will learn how many ayahs are explicitly in that surah. How many ayahs specifically are in that surah? But Muhammad did not give the right answer. So, in other words, we can safely say, when we read this hadith, we can safely say the Sahaba in their graves are still confused because Muhammad never gave them the right answer because he himself didn't know. Remember why? Because Muhammad himself used to forget Quran. People used to come and remind him the Quran. Uh-oh. This is a disaster, guys. You see it? Instead of telling them, if Muhammad knew, he would have said it. Muhammad instead says, go learn it the way I taught you. But wait, they don't know. They came to you, Ya Muhammad, because they are confused. Why would they else come to you? Because they are disagreeing. Right? 35 or 36, they don't know. And you never gave them the correct answer. They are confused. Is it 35 ayahs in that surah or 36? 35 آية or 36 آية? Which one? Which one, Ya Muhammad? No answer. Say Allahu Alam. Say Allah knows best and you get the answer, brother. But these are the Sahaba. This is the Ibn Mas'ud, Ya Muhammad. You commanded the Muslims to go to him. You commanded the Muslims to go to Ubay bin Ka'b. You commanded the Muslims to go to the freed slave of Abu Hudayfa, Salam. And you commanded the Muslims to go to Ma'ad in Bukhari. 4. Remember the authentic hadith in Bukhari, guys? Muhammad commanded 4. But the Muslims don't know. Ibn Mas'ud doesn't know. They don't know. Guys, do not take this hadith lightly. This one is disastrous. Why didn't Muhammad give the answer? Because he himself didn't know. Exactly. because he himself did not know, he could not remember what he taught them to begin with. So that's why he, by becoming red hot, by becoming angry, in other words, he tried to, just make them forget. Because he himself clearly didn't know. Else he would have immediately said, it's 35 or 36. But he himself didn't know. Guys, are you getting it? Are you with me, guys? Give me a 1 if you're getting it. If you didn't catch it, don't worry. I will not crucify you. I can explain it one more time. If there are enough ones, that means we can move on. You're with me, guys? Are you getting it? So is it 35, 36? Nobody knows. Muhammad didn't know. Yet Muslims of today want to convince us that they know the Quran, that the Quran is preserved. What do you mean? Let's continue. This one is another disastrous fact in Islam. Okay. And here's the link. Let me give us the link, Rob. No problem. Give us the link for his book. No problem, Habibi. Here is the link. Kitab al-Masahif. By Abi Bakr ibn Abi Daud. That's the son of the guy who wrote. This is the son of the guy who wrote Sunan Abi Daud. Okay. So this is his son. Okay. A very important guy. Okay. So this is the son of the writer of Sunan Abi Daud that you can find, for example, on sunnah.com. That book. Okay. Among the 6 books. This is his son. Okay. I always give you the source, brother, the receipts. We have the receipts. Unlike the Muslims, they don't care about receipts. Muslims are only Muslim by name. They can fact check me. They can see if I'm lying. We are dropping the links. Yet these wannabe Muslims, they can only do these pagan rituals fi shahr Ramadan. Right? Pagans, they don't care about the truth. They are only parrots. They are sheep, bunch of sheep who follow what the imams are telling them. Do Ramadan. We just saw the moon. Do the Ramadan. But Ya Rasulullah, give us answers. Ya Imam, give us answers, because someone who calls himself Arab Christian is giving us shubuhat fi shahr Ramadan. Ittaqillah, fear Allah, don't ask questions. Wait, what? Don't ask questions.
Emotional, damn
No questions asked. Guys, can we do something about the number? Invite more people, please. Invite more people. All right. On page 241 and 242, 241 and 242, look all the way down, 241, 241, 241 and 242, we have an authentic hadith. Chain of narration is what? Sahih. We don't do da'if. Arab Christian doesn't do da'if. Sahih. 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 Okay. All right. The hadith, as I said, starts on page 241. So we go back to page 241. We scroll all the way up. There's a hadith that is authentic, as we explained. Hadith number 119. That's the hadith number. Hadith 119, in other words. And says, Haddathana Abdullah. Abdullah has told us. Thana Abu Tahir. From Abu Tahir. Thana ibn Wahab. From Ibn Wahab. From Ibn Wahab Qal. Ibn Wahab said. You're with me, right, guys? Ibn Wahab said. Ibn Wahab said. What did you say, ya Ibn Wahab? Ibn Wahab, in this authentic hadith, what did you say? Let's see what he said. Next page, because that's where the hadith continues. I asked Imam Malik about the Mus'haf of Uthman radiyallahu anhu. About what? We asked Imam Malik, that's the founding father of the Maliki Sunni school. Imagine, the Maliki madhab. We asked Imam Malik about the Mus'haf of Uthman, of Caliph Uthman. Aywa. This is a very important hadith, as you notice, guys. Very important. Imam Malik was asked, the Mufti of Medina himself, brother. The Mufti of Medina, Rab. He was asked. Yes, brother. قال لي فقال لي ذهب. It's gone. Imam Malik said when he was asked, Imam Malik said, it's gone. Boom. What do you mean you have the Quran of Uthman, Muslims? Boom.
Emotional damage.
Imam Malik himself dare to say that the Quran of Uthman, the original Quran of Uthman, does not exist anymore? Yes. He says, فَقَالَ لِي ذَهَب. He told me it's gone. Gone. ذهب. Here's the word ذهب. Do you see it, guys? ذهب. That's the magical word. That's the magical word. It's gone. Up in smoke. Disappeared. So guys, when Muslims tell us that they have the original, they are lying. They don't. They have what survived. They have what survived with many variants, countless of variants and contradictions on top of more contradictions and grammar mistakes. It's gone. We asked Imam Malik about Mus'haf of Uthman. Mus'haf, for the people who don't know, Mus'haf is the physical manuscript, the copy, okay? The physical copy, the Mus'haf that they have between their hands. The original manuscript from the 7th century. We're talking about the 7th century copy of Uthman that is complete. It's gone. ذهب. فقال لي ذهب. It's gone. Imam Malik said it's gone. Any Muslim? You see how important today's topic is, guys? We did this live stream a couple weeks ago, but it was taken down. I did something wrong and poof, the entire live stream was gone. So I was like, hey, I have still owed the people a live stream because last time people complained, Rob, why is the rum gun? Why is the rum gun, Rob? Let me tell you something. Yeah, I'm telling you today, I'm basically repeating that live stream that we did a couple weeks ago. It disappeared. I did tiny setting and poof, the entire live stream went missing. Yeah, you remember that, right? So I'm basically repeating the live stream. Habibi, Chanti, Habibi, God bless you. Salam al-Masih. It's gone and it does not come back. Exactly. Reverse. Any Muslim? Sana'a is even more worse. Sana'a is even written by even a low tier than a low tiers. It's not complete. It's not from the 7th century. It's actually early 8th century manuscript. It's not complete and it's very, very poor. There is no surviving manuscript, and I will prove it soon. So bear with me. There is no existing. Listen carefully. There is no existing manuscript for the Quran that is from the 7th century or let alone complete. And not complete. It's not complete. All the existing manuscript, and there are not many, okay? All of them are not from the 7th century. They are not Ottomanic, and they are not complete. And on top of that, they disagree with today's Qurans. They disagree with today's Qurans. And I'll prove it. Hold your horses, okay? Next. If this is not already bad that Imam Malik admits that it's gone, look what the scholars have said. Look what the scholars of Al-Azhar said. Here is a book called Manal al-Urfan bi Ulum al-Quran, Volume 1, Al-Juz' al-Awwal, Volume 1. This is written by Al-Azhar University. Okay, Al-Azhar University. The scholars of Al-Azhar University wrote this book. Okay, the scholars of Al-Azhar wrote this book on the screen. It literally says Al-Azhariyya. Okay, Al-Azhar, Majlis Al-Azhar. Written by Majlis Al-Azhar. If you open the link, did I give you the link? I didn't give you the link. Oops, my bad. Let me give you the link. I forgot to give you the link, man. Rob, let me tell you something. If that link doesn't work, here's another link. Fact check if the links are working, guys. The sauce, brother. Put some sauce on it. Yeah. Fact check admins if they are working. They work? Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for the confirmation. So this book is written by Al-Azhar, Majlis Al-Azhar. Literally, if you know Arabic, guys, that's what it says here on the screen. Majlis Al-Azhar, okay, Al-Azhariyya. So this is written by Al-Azhar University, the same Al-Azhar University who are responsible for the 1924 Cairo edition, the Hafs Cairo edition. Same people of the 1924 Cairo edition that they popularized, and they made it so popular that Muslims now use that popular 1924 Hafs edition. And that Hafs edition is not based on any existing manuscript, by the way. They did not take manuscript to create that copy. Okay? Can you imagine, guys? How embarrassing. And when they finalized the 1924 Hafs edition, they dumped all of their existing old copies in the Nile River. So if you take a huge dive in the Nile River, you'll find many old copies in the Nile River. Qur'ans. They dumped their own Qur'ans. Question, why would you dump your old Qur'ans? Anybody, give me think about it. Well, I've asked myself that question, Brother Kurt Christiani. Do me a favor, though. Change the X to CH, brother, because it's an insult, okay? People who insult us or insult Christianity, they write it with an X, just to let you know. Also for Christmas, when you write Christmas with an X, it's an insult against Christ. So be careful with that name. From a brother to a brother. Yeah. Why would you dump your old copies like toilet paper? Like, as if you're dumping them through the sewage. Why would you do that? To hide the evidence. Clearly, there's only one, right? Only one real meaning behind why they did it. To hide the evidence. What evidence, Rob? That the old copies are not similar with today's copy. Okay, the Hafs edition, Cairo edition. Catch it? You're with me, right, guys? So here in volume 1 of this book by Al-Azhar University, page not found, page 404. Yeah, the page number is page 404. Page not found. 404, that's the page number, guys. Yeah, I like the number, man. Look what they said. This is very, very important stuff, guys. Don't take it lightly. Do not take lightly what I'm showing you, guys. This is academic stuff. Like I said in the beginning of the live show, Muslims pay top dollar to go learn about this stuff. This is so academic. Oof, you have no idea. Highly, highly academic live stream today. Look. Scholars of Al-Azhar said, the same people behind the 1924 Hafs Cairo edition, okay, the Cairo edition in Egypt. They said, and I quote, أين المصحف العثماني الآن؟ أين المصاحف العثمانية الآن? Forgive me. Where are the Uthmanic copies now? Where are the Uthmanic copies now? So they raised here in the blue, guys. They raised a question, a very important question. The question is simple. Where are the Uthmanic copies now? That's the question they raised. Where in the blue? In the blue. Where are the Uthmanic Masahif copies now? Where are they? Well, no, not in the Nile scrunchie. No. These are new copies. These are new copies. I'm talking about the 7th century original manuscripts that they date back to the Sahaba and Uthman. Of course, today are nuclear weapons that I'm putting between your hands. Nuclear weapons. Moabs. Scrunchie, pay attention, brother. I'm talking about the original manuscripts. Okay? We're not talking, forget about the copies that they dumped later. Those are much later copies. We're talking about the Uthmanic Masahif. The 7th century ones, the originals. We're talking now about the originals. Pay attention. The originals. Where are they? The 7th century ones. And they said, وَلَيْسَ بَيْنَ أَيْدِينَا دَلِيلٌ قَاطِعٌ عَلَى وُجُودِ الْمَصَاحِفِ الْعُثْمَانِيَّةِ الْآن. Translation. The scholars of Al-Azhar said, there is no hard evidence between our hands. They cannot prove it for the existence of the Uthmanic Masahif now. Boom! Guys, do you have any idea what kind of weapon I just put in between your hands? They just admitted in their own book that they wrote with their hands. Here on page 404. They just admitted that they do not have any hard evidence between their hands. They cannot prove that today's Qurans are the same Qurans of the 7th century during the time of Uthman. Remember, Uthman wrote 5 copies, right? 5 copies. 5 copies. Not one of them survived. Yet Muslims lie, and they dare without any honor, any shame. They lie to themselves and they have lied to us. We had to do our homework because they are not doing their homework. Someone like me had to do homework, read all of these books to find out that they have been lying to us. They only act like parrots. Muslims, your layman, your typical Muslims are nothing but parrots. They always say the Quran is preserved, nothing changed. What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you know better than the scholars? Are the scholars lying about the Quran? Are they kuffar? You know better than them? The people who did the investigation? Being a researcher, Yohan David, being a researcher makes you find this stuff. Okay, I'm a researcher. I'm an academic researcher, brother. If you're new to my ministry, I'm not your typical Christian apologist. Okay? I'm an academic researcher. I can safely call myself a scholar. Okay? Yes, you heard it. I'm a scholar. When you reach a type of level, that you can teach on this level, you can claim that title. Now Muslims will say Rob is pretending to be a scholar. Rob is acting tough, brother. You can see it with your own eyes and ears. You can hear it with your ears. What kind of knowledge we have about this cult, right? You don't need to have a huge degree between your hands to be a scholar. I mean, Sheikh Al-Albani, they call him a sheikh and a scholar. Sheikh Al-Albani did not have a degree. Why are you calling him a scholar and why can I not call myself a scholar? Huh? You hypocrites? You see it? So Muslims don't have a hard evidence between their hands to prove that there's something called Uthmanic Quran. It does not exist. They don't have it. They don't have evidence. No evidence between their hands. No evidence. They cannot prove it, in other words. And it continues on the next line in the yellow. Look here in the yellow. We have the green and the yellow. The blue, green, and yellow. In the yellow part that I highlighted for you, look what they said. Here's my translation. The scholars of Al-Azhar continued saying, أما المصاحف الأثرية, they are talking about the archaeological masahif that are between their hands. So here they continue talking about the manuscripts that they have between their hands, all of them, the manuscripts. Regarding the archaeological manuscripts, the masahif, i.e. the physical copies that are stored in Egypt, they only labeled them. They labeled them as Uthmanic, but they are not Uthmanic. They cannot prove it. And they said, again, the scholars of Al-Azhar said, we highly doubt about the authenticity of attributing them to Uthman. So the Muslims have lied. The Muslims have lied. They only gave them the label, hey, you know what, these copies are Uthmanic, but they are only wrongly, falsely labeled them as Uthmanic, but they are not Uthmanic. They are not that old. They are too new. In other words, these existing manuscripts are way too new to be called actually Uthmanic. So Islam has nothing but been a big, fat, miserable lie. It's a big, fat lie, guys. This so-called preservation is a big, fat lie, as you noticed. It's a big, fat lie. Muslims are a bunch of liars. They deceive their children. They deceive their parents. They deceive their grandmas and grandfathers about the preservation. They are lying. And they cannot prove it. They don't have any hard evidence that today's manuscripts of the Quran are Uthmanic, or let alone they date to the 7th century. They don't have any evidence. All of them are way too new to be called Uthmanic. God bless you, sister. Trying to, may the Lord use us mightily. May the true living God of the Holy Bible use us mightily to plant seeds in the hearts of these poor victims. Muslims are nothing but victims, guys. Not kidding. Pray for these victims, man. These are victims, and still, guys, we are educating them. We're actually teaching them about the so-called Quranic preservation, that it's nothing but a lie, and they hate us for it. The scholars of Islam, whenever you hear a Muslim scholar, always, guys, always in the back of in your head, always know that that means deceiver. Okay, when they talk about scholars, it means deceivers, because that's what they are. They hide this evidence. They don't like the public to know about this stuff. So what are we doing, guys? I am doing research, and I'm exposing in public, in front of you, you can see with your own eyes, what they truly say about their existing manuscripts for the Quran. It's in front of you, right? You see why my live shows are so important? Here's the link one more time. All right, let's continue. I mean, this is devastating, man. Is there any Muslim who wants to come up? Admins, is there any Muslim who wants to come up? I challenge you, if you claim to be the son of your mother and father, come up and let's see if you can refute me about anything today. If you are not terrified to come up. If you want to learn, stay in the chat and take notes as a Muslim. Guys, this is the famous hadith in Bukhari. Bukhari 32119. Admins, please drop the link. Bukhari, hadith number 3219. 3219. Thank you, Reverson. God bless you. Guys, this is the famous hadith about the ahruf. I want to go to the ahruf now. People, when you hear the word ahruf, do not confuse the ahruf with the 7 readings. Ahruf are not the 7 readings. The 7 ahruf are not the 7 readings. Keep that in the back of your mind. Whenever we talk about ahruf, they are not the 7 readings. Ahruf means, literally they mean letters. But what are they? Nobody knows. And you see, guys, they do need to do all kind of mental gymnastics in the chat. In the text. I need to fix the text. Do you see it, guys? I need to fix the text because they don't know what to do with it. So you have 7 letters, 7 ahruf, and you have 7 readings that came much later. Muhammad said, Jibril came and he gave me the 7 ahruf. What are the ahruf? Nobody knows. Muhammad never explained it. Clearly, Jibril did not explain it to Muhammad. Patching all day, exactly. And when you read, the Christians have to remove the patching because they lie to the Muslim audience, for example, on sunnah.com. Right? Look what I did. I had to do, guys. It says Allah's Rasul, Allah's Messenger, said, Jibril, not Gabriel, read the Quran to me in one harf, not one way, not a dialect. These are false translation. That's not what the Arabic says. The Arabic says harf, in one harf. And I continued asking him to read it in 7 ahruf. You see, guys, the patchwork? Do you see? The tarqi', we call it tarqi' in Arabic. Do you see the patching, guys? How they try to make sense out of it in the English translation? If. You see it? Patchwork. This religion is so based on lies, created on top of more lies, that it needs patchwork. You need to make an abomination in your English translation to fix what the Arabic doesn't say. And here's the proof. Look, if we go to the Arabic is very clear. Aqra'ani Jibrilu. Jibril taught me the Quran ala harf wahad, right? Harf. It says harf. You see why I had to remove way? Doesn't say way in the Arabic. It says harf. And then it continues about 7 ahruf. Right? 7 ahruf. Not ways, not modes, not styles. So whenever you see in the English translation the word styles, right? Styles or modes or dialects, these are all lies. They try to make sense out of the hadith because Muhammad did not explain it. They don't know what the ahruf are. In other words, guys, Muslims don't know what the 7 ahruf are. They don't. They don't know what the 7 ahruf are. They don't. So they need to guess. They need to cherry pick opinions of scholars because Islam is nothing but a religion of opinion. That's what Islam is. Islam is a religion of opinions of scholars. Right? Islam is the religion of opinion of scholars. And that always starts with اختلفوا العلماء. The scholars have disagreed. Any explanation, any tafsir, it always starts with the scholars have disagreed. What do you agree on then, Muslims? If you can't even agree on the meaning of the Quran or the meaning of the context of an ayah. You don't know what it means. You don't know what this means. You don't know what this harf means. You don't know what the ahruf are. What's left? Exactly. More lies than opinions. Exactly. So, and even scholars, guys, like a Shanqiti. Look, scholars like Imam or the famous scholar Ash-Shanqiti. Right? When it came to the 7 ahruf, let me give you even this website that translated the text from Ash-Shanqiti, very famous, giant Sunni scholar. When it came to the 7 ahruf, guys, the topic of the 7 ahruf, right? When it came to the 7 ahruf, what it means. What are the 7 ahruf? Nobody knows, like I told you. And look, Imam Ash-Shanqiti is being quoted here on the website. Okay? Imam Ash-Shanqiti is being quoted. Okay? Imam who is Shanqiti himself. Imam al-Shanqiti. Okay? Let's read, guys. You're with me, right? Look. Imam al-Shanqiti says, I worked on researching this question for a long period of time. Oof, this is way too big, Rob. Way too big. Hold on. Okay, forgive me for that. I worked on researching this question. So he was trying to find an answer for the question. What are the 7 ahruf, right? For a long period of time. More than 10 years. He tried to find an answer for more than 10 years. Can you imagine? The poor scholar of the Qiraat and Ahruf. Imam al-Shanqiti himself. Right? Imam al-Shanqiti himself. For more than 10 years continuously gathering in it the paths of this hadith and its transmission. So he tried to make sense of the hadith that we mentioned earlier in Bukhari, guys. He tried to make sense out of it, right? Following up the words of the scholars about it. So he went through many scholars' research and books and whatnot. Assiduous in giving it due prudence, diligent in making comparison and reflection, steadfast in bearing its difficulty and overcoming the faults on its path, until one day my chest grew weary. He became so tired. He became so tired because of doing research without finding answers for the meaning of the 7 ahruf. Guys, he's literally trying to make sense out of the 7 ahruf, right? He became weary because of it, because of his research. So I sought resource after Allah the Exalted, the Most High, to one of our teachers. He went, one of the teacher, and he's the author of the Adwa al-Bayan, that is Sheikh Muhammad al-Amin al-Shanqiti. So guys, forgive me, this is the writer of the article. So he went to the Sheikh Muhammad Amin al-Shanqiti. So the writer of the article, forgive me guys, not Shanqiti himself. He went finally to Imam al-Shanqiti. Okay? The writer of this article. Okay? Who? Abdul Aziz al-Qari. So you see guys, I'm not paying attention myself for a second. Forgive me for my shortcomings, guys. Pray for my shortcomings. So this is Abdul Aziz al-Qari talking. Okay? So he finally went to Imam al-Shanqiti for short. So I asked him, Ya Imam al-Shanqiti, what conclusion he had reached concerning the meaning of this hadith? What hadith? The Bukhari hadith earlier. Right? To which he said, the conclusion I have reached, Imam al-Shanqiti says, is that I do not know what it means.
Emotional damage.
In other words, they don't know the meaning of the 7 ahruf. They don't know what it is. They lie, in other words, guys. They lie, in other words, when they say these are modes, these are styles, these are dialects. They lie because they don't know the meaning actually. They lie to us. Nobody knows because Muhammad did not explain it. So when you have a Muslim, when you debate a Muslim about the 7 ahruf, guys, and he says it means modes, it means styles, it means dialects, he's lying to you. He's lying to you. Nobody knows what the 7 ahruf are. Nobody knows. Here, this is the hadith that we just read about, right, guys? Again, nobody knows the meaning of the 7 ahruf. If the scholars don't know, exactly, very good question. If the scholars don't know what the 7 ahruf are, and Muhammad did not explain it, why do you lie about it meaning then in your false English translations? Look, guys, I had to remove literally in the English translation the word dialect, styles, way. What do you mean way? Where do you get this from if your scholars don't know? You see, guys, these liars who call themselves translators, these liars who call themselves translators, Bunch of liars. They are cherry picking one of the many opinions what the 7 ahruf could have been. Muslims, why do you accept these lies from your scholars? Muslims are very, I know you hate me a lot. I know you curse me. I know you even pray to Allah. May Allah break your back, Rob Christian. I know what you pray about me. I know. Well, if we find you, Rob Christian, we have a huge sum of money on your head. We have put a huge sum of money on your head. If we find you, we will unalive you, Rob, and we will become filthy rich. May Allah break your back, Rob Christian. That's what they say about me, guys. No, I'm not kidding. But Muslims, one sincere question. I know you hate me with a passion. I know. But I have a sincere question. All jokes aside, put everything aside. Put your hatreds towards me for a second aside. Why do you accept the lies of your so-called scholars and translators about the 7 ahruf? Because they don't know what it is. They don't know what it is. So why do you accept these lies in the English translations? Why do you accept their lies, Muslims? Why don't you do your own investigation? And why don't you watch my video? Even I allow you, even as a Muslim, to download. I give you the permission to download my video, this live show, and do your investigation and rewatch it again and do more investigation and watch that I did not lie about anything today. Everything I'm showing you is directly from your books and scholars. But you didn't do your homework. You only have been parroting the same lie that the Quran is preserved, that you have the Quran of Uthman. It's all big fat lie. And you don't even know the meaning of this hadith on the screen. English translation is khara. It's poo-poo. Exactly. Nothing but lies. Here is the article. One more time, guys. Go where you see here the footnote number 13, guys. This part here. So this entire part, I want you to read this part again. This entire part. Read it and let it become like second nature. So even Imam al-Shanqiti didn't know. Imam al-Shanqiti said, and I quote, he said, the conclusion is, I have reached a kind of level of research, in other words, that I can conclude that I don't know what the ahruf are. He doesn't know. Yet the Muslims of today, they know better than their classical scholars. Did you catch it? They don't know. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. Ma nadri. Ma nadri, we don't know. They don't know. Guys, let me make it even more worse. You ready? Let me make it even more worse? Yes. Let me make it even more worse. Let me give you the following link for the book on the screen. الإتقان في علوم القرآن by Imam al-Suyuti, another expert on the knowledge of the Quran and whatnot. الإتقان في علوم القرآن by the giant Sunni classical scholars Jalal ad-Din al-Suyuti, al-Hafiz himself, المتوفى عام 911. He died in the Islamic year 911 Hijrah. That Imam al-Suyuti, okay? Imam al-Suyuti. Imam al-Suyuti, okay? We open the book and we go to page 105. Look what it says there on top, all the way on top. The scholars have disagreed. Like always, they have disagreed. Disagreement of the scholars in the opinion for the Quranic preservation or the Quranic revelation in 7 ahruf. For the Quranic revelation in the 7 ahruf. Why they disagreed? Because there are 40, not one, not two, but 40 different opinions. What do you mean, Rob, 40 different opinions? There are, in other words, guys, take notes, take screenshots. There are 40, not one, not two, not 10, not 15, not 20, not 30, but 40 different opinions, aqwal, for what the 7 ahruf could have been. 40 different scholarly opinion. Now do you understand, if we go back to the previous article about Imam al-Shanqiti, now we understand why Imam al-Shanqiti said, I came to the conclusion that I don't know what it means. So when you say it means dialect, or mode, or a mode, or a style, you are cherry picking one of the 40. In other words, guys, you are cherry picking one of the 40 opinions. They don't know what the Quran means. In other words, guys, they don't know. Supposedly, Muhammad said, I received the Quran from Jibreel in 7 ahruf. What are the 7 ahruf, Ya Rasulullah? Ma nadri. Ma nadri, we don't know. Literally, if we go back, guys, remember, the article is very important. Imam al-Shanqiti said, he said, I came to the conclusion that I've reached. The conclusion is that I've reached that I do not know what the 7 ahruf are. This is about the 7 ahruf, guys. We don't know. يخرب بيتك يا رسول الله. Why didn't you explain it exactly? Why didn't you explain to the Sahaba what the 7 ahruf were? Then we would not had, the Muslims would have not had this mass confusion about what the 7 ahruf are. Well, clearly, yes. Seven magical BS. If there's no honest understanding of it, then it's nothing but BS, because Muhammad is a fraud, a false prophet, right? Can you imagine? Not 1, not 2, but 40 different opinions. And there's a huge disagreement on what the ahruf could have been. What are the 7 ahruf, brother? Nobody knows. Sab'at ahruf. What are they? Nobody knows. Guys, do you know how devastating today's live stream is for the Muslims? Do not take today's live stream lightly. I know it's a bit academic. I know I'm a bit... Yes, I'm putting weapons in your hands, but it's very difficult. This is the most awkward and difficult topic. Remember, guys, during the conversation with Yasser Qadi and Mimi Hijab, the holes in the standard narrative, this is what Yasser Qadi was talking about. What we are talking about today, what I'm showing you today, this is what he was talking about, remember?
When you do a deep dive, I'm a scuba diver. When you do a deep dive, I'm a scuba diver. Things get very, very awkward and difficult. When you do a deep dive, I'm a scuba diver. When you do a deep dive, I'm a scuba diver. Things get very, very awkward and difficult. I'm more than happy to go diving anywhere.
If I were to give you a blank mushaf,
let's not. I'm a scuba diver. I'm more than happy to go diving anywhere.
If I were to give you a blank mushaf,
let's not. You're pushing me. I'm a scuba diver. I'm more than happy to go diving anywhere.
If I were to give you a blank mushaf,
the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.
If I were to give you a blank mushaf,
leave it at that, ya akhi. When you do a deep dive, I'm a scuba diver. When you do a deep dive, I'm a scuba diver. Things get very, very awkward and difficult. When you do a deep dive, I'm a scuba diver. When you do a deep dive, I'm a scuba diver. I'm a scuba diver. Things get very, very awkward and difficult. I have been doing a deep dive into this issue. The standard narrative has holes in it. Leave it at that, ya akhi.
We take deep dives today, guys. Things will become awkward. Don't push me, akhi. Stop pushing me, akhi. Stop pushing me, akhi. Deep dives. Standard narrative has holes in it. This is what we're talking about, guys. This is what Yasser Qadi said. No answers. Ittaqillah, ya akhi. Fear Allah. Don't ask questions. Scuba diving. Taking scuba diving to find the missing Qurans. Maybe answers for the 7 ahruf. Allahu alam. Yep. And people started to attack him. People even, started to doubt Islam. Many Muslims left Islam because of that very, very, very classical, epic interview between Muhammad Hijab, Mimi Hijab, and Yasser Qadi. If I'm going to give you a blank mushaf, meaning blank mushaf, guys, a blank copy, without any text on it, just blank, white, empty pages, which qira'ah are you going to put on it? No answer. They don't know. What is the real Quran? Nobody knows. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So this is the 7 ahruf. I can give you so much more about the 7 ahruf, guys. But I don't want to make it too difficult. But anyway, let me show you more. Show us more, Rob. Look, here is another so-called scholar. Deceiver, liar. Here is another scholar, brother. Look what he said. Look what he said. I even put his picture. So this is a modern day scholar. This is what? A modern day scholar. About Nuzul al-Quran ala sab'at ahruf. Regarding the coming down of the Quran from Jibreel to Muhammad, in other words, guys. In 7 ahruf. Ala sab'at ahruf. That's the title of the book. Of course, this is a Sunni book. Right? And this is the name of the scholar, Qattan. And here is his picture. I thought to myself, let me put also his picture so you get the idea who this modern day scholar deceiver is, who wrote this book about the 7 ahruf. On page 32, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, page 32, 33, 32, 33. Let me give you the link. I hope the link is working though, I'm not sure. I hope it's working, but I'm not sure. Let me give you multiple links for this book. Here is another link. And there's also a Maktabat al-Shamila link. So now you have 3 different links for just one book. Maktabat al-Shamila, the last one is, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is the website version. The website version. I have the physical and I have the website version. Okay, that's beautiful. Page 33, 32, 33. Okay, 33, 32, 33. Aywa, aywa, aywa. 32 first. Look, all the way down. 32. This is 32. Aywa. Look what it says. Abu Hatim bin Hibban said, Abu Hatim bin Hibban said, people disagreed in 35 seeing for the ahruf. Wait. Moments ago it was 40, now it's 35? Moments ago it was 40 different opinions. In the book of what? Imam al-Suyuti. It was 40, 40 qawlan. 40. Now it's 35, guys. The number is getting less. If we go and continue on the next page, that's literally what it says. Now it's 35. I mean, how many are there? 30, 35, 40. I mean, try to make sense out of it, ya Khwan. And then they repeat what Imam al-Suyuti said, right? 40, here is the 40. Crazy. They don't even agree on how many opinions there are. Can you imagine? They do not agree on how many opinions there are for the ahruf. I mean, if the scholars don't agree, what are you left with? You're left with bull crap. Is it 30, 35? Here they say 35, here is 35, and here is 40. Here on top it was also 35. I mean, try to make sense out of it, man. 30, 35, 30. I mean, how many? Pick a number. Pick a number. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Pick a number. لا حول وقوة إلا بالحجر الأسود يا أخوان. لا حول وقوة إلا بالحجر الأسود. يخرب بيتكم. They're trying to explain it, but they make it even more worse. يخرب بيتكم. Any Muslim? Is there any Muslim today who wants to come up? Can we do something about the numbers, guys? Invite more people. They don't know. Do you see, guys, how difficult the topic of qira'at and ahruf are? Again, the most difficult topic in Islam is qira'at, the readings. Qira'at means the different readings in the Arabic for the Quran, and the ahruf. That's the most difficult topic that even gives the highest scholars, as you noticed, the biggest scholars in Islam, the most classical scholars of Islam, it gives them headaches. They don't know how to answer it. Look, remember, no answer. Imam al-Shanqiti came to the conclusion that he reached the conclusion that he doesn't know what the 7 ahruf are. No answer. So it gives them headaches, guys. These topics giving them headaches. They don't know how to answer them. Muslims, if you don't have the answer, why don't you leave Islam? Why don't you leave this cult that is based on no answers and come back home to Jesus, who has all the answers? Why don't you come back to the Bible that is filled with answers? Why are you accepting these low-tier answers from your scholars? Why don't you leave Islam? You know Islam is nothing but a man-made cult. It's founded on lies on top of more lies because Muhammad was a fraud. I mean, what is the... Guys, what is the wisdom behind the hadith that is on the screen about the 7 ahruf? If there is no answer, what is the wisdom about the 7 ahruf if there is no answer? Why would Jibreel send down the Quran in 7 ahruf to Muhammad if even Muhammad didn't know and never explained it to his companions? No answer. There is no answer from the ulama, from the scholars. What are the 7 ahruf? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Remember? Nobody knows. No answer. I don't know. What kind of answer is this, man? You base your salvation, your soul on the line for no answer? You're getting a no answer? Why would you do that to yourself, Muslims? كلام خطير يا أخوان. كلام خطير. Very dangerous. This is dangerous. أيوة. If we go to the chain of narration for the Hafs. Guys, remember, what is the most popular? The most popular reading for the Quran is the Hafs. Different topic, guys. We're going to talk about the Hafs now. Different topic. The most popular Quran today is what? The Hafs, right? The Hafs version, as we call it. Qira'at Hafs. They call it Qira'at Hafs. I like to call it the Hafs Quran, okay? So what we see on the screen, I created this diagram or flow chart for you to give you an idea what the chain of narration is for the Hafs Quran. What you see on the screen is, guys, is supposedly the chain for the Hafs Quran, okay? Chain for the Hafs Quran on the screen. Take a screenshot because you won't find this anywhere. This is mine. I created this. Okay? What you see is the chain of narration for the Hafs. What's up, James? What's up, baby? Do me a favor, guys. Subscribe to our dear brother, Divine Mercy Apologetics, brother James. Beautiful brother. A beautiful Catholic brother. Give him some love, guys. Take a screenshot. This is the Hafs Quran. Okay? Hafs Quran. The chain for the Hafs Quran. Supposedly, we have Muhammad on top. And then you have Ali, Sulami, As-Sulami, Asim, and Hafs. Rob, this is too academic. I have no idea what you created for us, Rob. Well, this is the chain. Remember, the Quran itself calls itself a hadith. And it calls itself the best. Allah said, this is the best hadith. Allah himself said in the Quran, this is the best hadith. This Quran is the best hadith. Right? So if it's the best hadith, it should get the condition for the best hadith, which is Sahih. So I will apply the condition for a Sahih hadith. So if it's a hadith, if the Quran is a hadith, we should use these conditions that the scholars have said to make something authentic or da'if, right? Is it da'if or is it sahih? Right, guys? You're with me, right? If the Quran is a hadith, according to Allah himself, maybe Muslims will call Allah a liar. It should be the most authentic hadith, right, guys? With the most authentic sound chain of narration. If it calls itself a hadith. You're with me, right, guys? Give me a 1, please. You're with me, right? Yeah, the people are getting bored and we are losing numbers because this is too academic. People sometimes only join, guys, for entertainment business, right? Brother, when you're funny, Arab Christian, we are here with you. But when you speak in a way difficult or academic way, we're not here to stay. We want to be entertained. Yeah. It's too academic, brother. Well, who's going to do it? If I don't do it, who's going to give you academic stuff about Hafs Quran and the Qira'at and the Haruf? Who's going to teach you? Who? CP? CP doesn't care about this stuff. Sam Shamoun, with all due respect to brother Sam Shamoun, he won't give you this stuff because he's not an Arabic speaker. Who? David Wood? No. He's not an Arabic speaker and he's not knowledgeable about this stuff. So, you're left with me. You're stuck with me. This idiot who calls himself Rob Christian, who is risking his life and the life of his family to educate you about this man-made demonic book. You're stuck with me. This boring guy on YouTube. Right? You really need to download today's live stream, guys. Like I said, Muslims pay top dollar to learn about this stuff. Top dollar. Each session is like $200, $300 per session. Imagine how many sessions you need to take to learn about all of this stuff, right? So we have a chain of narration. Muhammad supposedly. Then we have Ali. Then we have a Sulami. Asim, the teacher of Hafs, and Hafs himself. Now, do you now understand why it's called the Hafs Quran? Riwayat Hafs? Because it's named after the last person supposedly in the chain of narration. The student of Asim, right? Crazy, we know, so we will go there. Hold your horses, guys. As you noticed on the screen, I put some extra flavor, extra information, right? We will prove soon that they don't have hard evidence to connect all of these qira'at to Muhammad. You see the red cross all the way up there, guys? I put a red cross. Do you see it there? They don't know how to connect the 7 qira'at to Muhammad, to the Prophet of Islam. The false fraud prophet to Islam. They have lied to us when they said we have the Quran of Muhammad, or let alone the Quran of Uthman. They don't. Even Uthman is out of the game, just like Muhammad. They got actually the Quran of Ali. Did you know that? The Quran comes from Ali, supposedly, according to the scholars. So Uthman is out of the game. Do you understand now why? And I showed you the hadith about Imam Malik. He said, When he was asked about the Mus'haf of Uthman, he said, it's gone. They don't have it. Supposedly, they have a chain of narration that goes through Ali. Ali, As-Sulami, Asim, Hafs. Lol, broken chain. Exactly. That's the whole entire point. You got it. And how many chapters? That's a totally different topic on itself. Some companions had 116 chapters. Ibn Mas'ud had 111 chapters. The Quran of Hafs is 114 chapters. But that's a different topic on its own. Okay? Different topic for another day, maybe. That topic on itself needs an entire live stream. Okay? So they actually have the Quran of Ali, not Uthman. Did you know that? And we're going to prove it. So let us start with this one first. Number one, let us first prove that the Quran is not from Uthman. The Quran is actually from Ali. The Quran is from Ali. You didn't know that? Well, welcome to my live stream. Boom! So the Quran is not from Uthman, it's from Ali. And here's the proof. Watch. First book that I want to present on the screen, the first book that I want to present for you on the screen is called غاية النهاية في طبقات القراء by the famous expert among experts and who is responsible for the 3 extra qira'at. This is the guy behind all of it. Remember, Ibn Mujahid, he canonized the 7 readings. Ibn al-Jazari added 3 extra, they became 10. So he's responsible for the 3 extra to become 10 qira'at. Right? In total. This is the guy. So who are we going to go to if not him? Right, guys? Who else should we go to if we don't go to him, right? He is the top guy. Now we understand why you're going to Rob, Christian. You're slowly uncovering the hidden secrets, Rob. We're slowly getting it. Yes. Yes, boy. Exactly. We're slowly getting there. I got you, man. I got you, bro. So, let's see if I can give you the link for the book. Where did I put the book again, man? Sometimes when I want to find a book myself on my computer, I drown in books. I'm literally drowning in books, guys. I think this is the link. This is the right link. Let's see. Let me check first before I drop the link. Is this the right link? I think it's the right one. Yeah, this is the right one. Again, غاية النهاية في طبقات القراء, Volume 1. Right? By Ibn al-Jazari himself, page 230. This is page 230. Page 230, okay? Aywa. Page 230. Maybe you want to take a screenshot, guys. Because this translation, you won't find it anywhere. Hafs himself is talking. Hafs, the writer, basically the guy that Muslims have the Quran of, basically. This is Hafs himself talking. Hafs. And Hafs. From Hafs. Aywa. Hafs said, what did Hafs say? Hafs said, I asked Asim. So guys, Hafs is talking to his teacher. We have the student and we have the teacher talking. The student, Hafs, is asking his teacher. Hafs said, I asked Asim, my teacher, about Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr is the student, the other student. Rob, can you try to make it a little bit more clearer for us? Because we have no clue what you're talking about, Rob. No problem. Let me try to dump it down for all of you guys. What I'm trying to say is this. What I'm trying to explain to you is this, brother. We have a teacher and we have two students. Every teacher, guys, when it comes to qira'at and riwayat, you always have one teacher and you have two students. One teacher and two different students. Right? Student 1 and student 2. That's how it works. Okay, guys? So Asim has two students, namely Hafs and another one called Shu'ba, aka Abu Bakr. Maybe you already saw what I put here between the brackets underneath. Hafs got the Quran from Ali. So Asim taught him the Quran of Ali. And Shu'ba, aka Abu Bakr, learned the Quran of Ibn Mas'ud. So, what is going on is this, guys. Asim teaches the Quran to Hafs. And supposedly Hafs is 114 surahs, supposedly. And he got it from what? Ali's Quran. But Shu'ba, aka Abu Bakr, learned the Quran of who? Ibn Mas'ud. And Ibn Mas'ud, we know that it's only contained 111 chapters or surahs. Right? You're with me, right, guys? This is on itself, it's already problematic and a disaster. On itself, it's already a problematic and a disaster. So how can there be 111 chapters? How can there be 114 chapters? Allahu Alam. So this Quran is 111 chapters, and this is supposedly 114 chapters. You're with me, right, guys? How is this possible? I mean, we have a teacher, and is teaching two different students, two different Qurans, with two different, complete different amount of chapters. Try to make sense out of it, guys. But this is the beauty of Islam, brother. This is the so-called Quranic preservation, brother. But it becomes more bad. Watch. It becomes more bad if we go back. So Hafs is asking again. You see, guys, when I try to put flowcharts and whatnot, things will become more easy for everyone, right? You're with me, right, guys? I'm trying to make it easier for everyone. I know it's very academic stuff today, but I'm trying. I'm really trying my best. So pray for my shortcomings if it's still not clear. And rewatch the live show and rewatch it again and again and again, because if it might be too academic. Okay. Hafs said, I asked Imam, or my teacher, Asim, his teacher, about Abu Bakr's qira'ah, who has a different reading than I do. How is it possible, ya teacher, ya Asim, that my fellow student, Abu Bakr, aka Shu'ba, has a different Quran than me? قلت لي عاصم أبو بكر يخالفني يا عاصم فقال أقرأتك بما أقرأني أبو عبد الرحمن السلمي عن علي bin Abi Talib. The teacher says to Hafs, the answer for that is, I taught you, Hafs, the reading of Ali. Oops. Bin Abi Talib, the cousin of Muhammad. And I taught your fellow student, Shu'ba, aka Abu Bakr, the reading of Ibn Mas'ud. Different Quran. So where is Uthman? Where is Uthman? Muslims say we have the Quran of Uthman. Where is Uthman in the story? Where is Uthman? Where is Caliph Uthman? Ya Akhwan, I demand an answer. You Muslims say you have the Quran of Uthman. That's a big fat lie. This is a big fat lie. There's nothing called Uthman. Where is Uthman? Where is he? You Muslims say, you have always told us that you have the Quran of Uthman. Why did you lie to us and yourselves? You don't have the Quran of Uthman. You have the Quran of Ibn Mas'ud or Ali. Where's the Quran of Ibn Mas'ud? We don't know. Boom. So no Uthman in the entire story. So can we safely say, guys, that all of these hadiths are nothing but fabrications? Supposedly Uthman, collected all the Quranic manuscript. He put them on a big pile, burned them to the ground, and he only kept one harf. These are all fabrications because they cannot prove it. In reality, guys, they cannot prove it. The people who canonize the qira'at, they cannot prove it. There's nothing called Uthman to begin with. So can we safely say that the entire, sorry for my typos if I make typos, guys, in my English. Can we safely say that these so-called hadiths, reports, are all fabrications about Uthman? If Uthman is out of the window, out of the picture, Muslims? Can we safely say that these so-called ahadith that you can find, for example, in Bukhari or Sahih Muslim or any collection of hadith, that these are all fabrications about Uthman? Because in reality, you don't have the Quran of Uthman. You have either the Quran of Ali or Ibn Mas'ud. Qira'at Ali or Ibn Mas'ud. Here is his name, Abdullah bin Mas'ud. And last but not least, guys, the Hafs Quran, that's what it says in the last part of the hadith. The Hafs Quran has 520 differences. Fiyas, the one that Shu'bah learned. Qira'at Shu'bah. So Hafs has not one, not two, but 520 differences when you compare it to the Shu'bah reading. And I'm talking then about Ali versus Ibn Mas'ud's reading, right, guys? 500 differences. 520 differences. That's what it says. قال Ibn Mujahid قال Ibn Mujahid. There is 500 between the qira'ah of Hafs and the qira'ah of Abi Bakr, aka Shu'bah. There are 520 different letters that are different. What are the letters? We don't know. But let's say 500 differences in the letters, or, so maybe the letter Ra or Ta or Ba. You get the idea. Allahu Alam what these are. But at least 520 differences. How is this possible? Rehan, if I may clown, come teach this clown. Come teach me about the Qiraat and Ahruf so I can school you. You can school me, then I will school you. What do you think? The link is all the way up there. You can come up and school me if I'm a clown. Because I'm teaching you for free. This clown is teaching you for free. Your imams will not teach you this. They will hide this information from you. You're a clown, Rob Christian, because you're teaching us for free. If I would have charged money, that would be a different story, guys. Don't be shy, Rehan. You Pakistani, Indonesian, wannabe Muslims. You don't know Arabic. You don't know nothing. It's so easy to call someone a clown in the chat, right? Well, actually, in reality, the only clowns are you Muslims. You wannabe Muslims who don't speak one word Arabic. From your name, I know that you're not an Arabic speaker. Rehan. You must be a Pakistani or Indonesian or Afghani, Pakistani Muslim. You claim to be a Muslim. You don't know one word Arabic and you claim to be a Muslim. Guys, all of these books on the screen, guys, that we're sharing with you in the chat, they don't know anything about it. So guys, do you understand if I go back to the flow chart, here's my flow chart. Everybody focus, guys. Forget about Rehan, we have admins for that. Forget about Rihan. Pay attention to moi. Pay attention to me. Do you understand why I put here a red cross, guys? Do you see my red cross? Let me put a bigger one now. Uthman is out of the window. Out of the equation. We just proved it. Supposedly the Hafs Quran is from Ali. You see it? All of it is a big fat lie. So we have a missing link. Boom, scrunchy. The Quran of Hafs, which is a hadith clearly. Allah said in the Quran, it's a hadith. It has a broken chain. Do you see my broken chain here? You see it, right? That's why I put it. We have a broken chain. A broken chain in the lie, which they call Quranic preservation. What do you mean Quranic preservation if we just destroy that lie? You Muslims always said you have the Quran of Uthman. What do you mean Uthman? Who is Uthman? What is Uthman? What is Uthman? What is Uthman? That's the question. You don't have the Quran of Uthman. Supposedly, you have the Quran of Ali, but we're going to make it even more worse. If we go back, it literally says on the page, again, page 230. I gave you the link. Here's the link one more time. It literally says here that Asim, he is the student of Ar-Rahman As-Sulami, and he learned the Quran from Ali. So As-Sulami here, this guy here, is a student of Ali, supposedly, a student of the companion, the cousin of Muhammad, Ali bin Abi Talib. He learned the Quran from Ali, not from Uthman. So if we go back to the flowchart, to my beautiful, beautiful, authentic flowchart, this is the guy that they're talking about, right, guys? As-Sulami. He did not take, as you see here, he did not take from Uthman. So in other words, they don't have the Quran of Uthman. Broken chain. Broken missing link. And it will become worse and worse. So we talked about this guy, Ali. We talked about Sulami. We proved that it's not from Uthman. Now we're going to move to Asim. What about Asim, Rob? Before we go to Hafs and prove that he is a liar. Asim, guys. Asim, the teacher of Hafs himself, he had issues with his memory. Remember, we are talking supposedly about an authentic hadith. And an authentic hadith is based on conditions. There are conditions. There are conditions for an authentic hadith, remember? A narrator should be free from any defects. He should have a very good memory. But Asim, if we do some digging, he has issues with his memory. He's not a hafiz. Well, if he's not a hafiz, then what is he? He's not a memorizer. He made many mistakes, many errors in his hadith, and he's not trustworthy. He is not trustworthy. He is not a hafiz. He made issues, he made errors in his hadith, and he had a very, very bad memory. You can't see my screen? Why? What's going on? You can't see my screen? Someone's saying we can't see your screen. What's going on? There's something blocking? Is something blocking the screen? Removing the comment. Yeah, I just did. Forgive me, guys. Do you see it? Issue with memory. Asim had issues with memory, with his memory. He made many mistakes in hadith. He's not a hafiz, meaning he cannot memorize. And last but not least, he's not trustworthy. Now let us prove it. Because we don't say anything without proof. Right, guys? We don't say anything without proof. And here is my proof. Watch. When I say something, show us something, Rob. Say something, Rob. But with proof, Rob. No problem. In Tahdhib al-Tahdhib by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, brothers and sisters. In Tahdhib al-Tahdhib. So we open the experts' their books. Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, the famous expert for Jarh wa Ta'dil. You know, when you have is a narrator trustworthy? Is he not trustworthy? What did the scholars say about him, right, guys? Very important. This is what they call basically science of hadith or science of men. This is what they call it, right? Science of men, science of hadith. Tahdib al-Tahdib. Okay, that's the title of the book, volume 3 by Ibn Hajar. All right. Guys, focus, guys. All jokes aside. I know this is funny stuff and whatnot, but all jokes aside, we go to page 314 all the way down, and we see here Asim bin Bahdala, report 3551. Let me put the report number here on top. Okay, and this is about short for Asim, the teacher of Hafs. So this is the teacher, guys, of Hafs himself. This is the teacher of Hafs. Who? Asim. What the scholar said about him. Right? أيوة. وهو ابن أبي النجود الأسدي أبو بكر المقري. Short for Asim. Short for Asim. He has a long name and, you know. All right. Now, if we go to the next pages, we go to page 315. 315. 315. You see, guys, how academic today's live stream is? Do you see how academic today's live stream is? Very academic, right, guys? Very, very academic. What did they say about him? What did they say, Rob? Ibn Sa'd said he was trustworthy. Ibn Sa'd said Asim was trustworthy, thiqa, but he used to make many mistakes in his hadiths. He makes many mistakes in his hadith. Brother, this is funny. Asim is trustworthy, but, always the but, he made many mistakes in his hadith. Remember, the Quran is a hadith. The Quran is a hadith. يخرب بيتكم. He is trustworthy, but he made many mistakes in hadith. Remember, Allah said the Quran is a hadith. You see, guys, when you have conditions, when the scholars, you say, don't blame me for it. The scholars, guys, remember, the scholars have set a set of conditions for Sahih hadiths. When you have narrators who cannot be trusted because they make many mistakes, then boom, there goes the chain of narration, right, guys? There goes the chain of narration out of the window in the sewage where it belongs, between the... Right, guys? You're with me, right? You're getting it, right? You see what I'm doing? I'm showing you that you cannot put your salvation and trust on the line in this broken chain. He made many mistakes in hadith. That's literally what it says. He's worthless. Exactly. You cannot trust him. Yes, he's trustworthy, but he made many mistakes. Wait, what? Are you okay? And the list goes on. Look, here is more. Look at this nonsense about him. He was not a hafiz. He was not a memorizer. Wait, what? And it becomes even more worse. Look. This guy here says anyone whose name is Asim, he is bad in memorization. And I put the translation for you on the screen, right, guys? Anyone with the name Asim was bad in memorization of the Quran, clearly. Wait, what? Remember, we're talking about an authentic hadith, and the best hadith should be the Quran with the best chain of narration. But Asim was bad in memorization? If he's bad in memorization, how is he teaching the Quran to Shu'bah, student number 1, aka Abu Bakr, and Hafs, student number 2, if he's bad in memory? You see, guys, what kind of joke this so-called science of hadith is? It's a big fat joke. It's pure comedy, guys. It's pure comedy. Guys, you're with me, right? All jokes aside, you're with me, right? Asim was terrible. Anyone with the name Asim was bad in memorization. These are the people who are telling us about narrators. And here is another person who says that in his hadith, there is rejection. So you cannot accept his hadith. Remember, for an authentic hadith to be perfect, sahih, sound, you can't have narrators who are being criticized. But his hadith is rejected. That's what it says here. And he was again bad in memory. And there's something with his memorization. So in other words, he has issue with memory. Literally, guys, all of these people, all of these classical people are talking about him, said that Asim was bad in memory. And his hadiths are rejected. Of course, you have people who say good stuff about him. Don't get me wrong. But you can't have people talking about him in a bad way if this guy is responsible for the most important book of Islam, which is the Quran, right, guys? He should be, anyone who is in the chain should be free from any critique. Remember the conditions, guys. We have conditions for authentic hadiths, right? Conditions. So he's not free from critique. He is not free from critique. Oof. Do you see why I put what I put here about him, guys? Do you see? Now all the puzzle pieces are fitting their right places, right, guys? You're with me, right? Do you see what they said about him? About the teacher of Hafs. We didn't even move to Hafs yet. We're only talking about Asim, the teacher here. The teacher. Bad in memory. He has issues with his memory. He is not a hafiz, many errors in his hadith. And people even said he's not trustworthy. So if we go to page 316. So we showed you page 315, 314. This is page page 316. 316 on top. 316, 316. This is the last page that I want to show you. Here, another critique. He used to mix a lot in the end of his life. He was a DJ, guys. He was a DJ. He became a DJ in the end of his life. He used to mix. Wicked. That's what he used to do. Brother, one more time. He was a DJ. He became a DJ in the last part of his life. He used to mix a lot, you know. What do you mean with mixing? So the guy didn't know what is the difference between his head and his anus. So if you would have asked him, where's your ear? He would have pointed to his nose, or maybe to his anus, or maybe to his head, or his hair. Dementia, exactly. That's what it means. He suffered from dementia. How can you trust an old man with the Quran, teaching Quran, if he became demented in the last part of his life? Supposedly, the more you become older, the better you should be, right? The more knowledgeable you become, the more, people trust you more. But no, this guy, from bad to worse to worst. You're with me, right, guys? The guy became a DJ. Wicked. He became a DJ in the last part of his life. Right? Dementia, exactly. And in the last part here, guys, again, they are saying here, the guy was very bad in memory. He could not memorize. His hadith is rejected, and he mixes a lot. Oof. And in the last part, the highlighted part underneath, when they came to the last guy and they asked him, what about him? What about Asim? They said they stopped. Meaning no comments. Guys, what does it mean when I ask you? Oh, sorry for my French. What does it mean when I ask you? Let's say, I know a guy, his name is Jack. We know a guy, his name is Jack. When I reach someone and I ask him, hey, Tom, what about Jack? Can you tell me something about him? The guy will say, Tom will say, about Jack, no comment. Rob, what do you mean no comment? Forget about him. No comment. No comment. Can you imagine? And these are the people who they put their translation, who they put their salvation and soul on the line. Bad memorizers, their hadith are rejected, no comment. You get the idea. Right? I forgot to show you also one part. It also says that he became blind. He became blind as well. He became blind. He became what, Rob? He became blind. Even blind, Rob. Yes. Anyway. Now, the last guy, who is it? Hafs. Guys, they don't have the Quran of Uthman. They don't have the Quran of Uthman. They have the Quran supposedly of Ali. Okay? No Uthman. They have the Quran of Ali. Sulami took from Ali, not from Uthman. Uthman is out of the picture. Asim, bad in memory. Asim is rejected in hadith. No comment when someone asked about him. So he should be free from any defects. Bye-bye. What about Hafs then, his student? Oh, thank you for the donation. God bless you, my friend. Thank you so much. Christ Rise donated $75. Wow. Thank you for the donation. God bless you. We'll spend it wisely for the ministry, for improving our live streams, equipment. So now and then we need to buy new stuff for quality streaming, guys. Thank you so much. We'll spend it wisely for the ministry. God bless you and your loved ones for that donation. All right. Last but not least, Hafs. As you see in my flowchart or diagram, he used to fabricate hadith. He's a fabricator, a very famous fabricator. He literally used to create his own hadith, in other words, guys. He was a liar. He's completely rejected in hadith. And he used to take books of people and did not return them. In other words, a thief. Guys, question. Muslims say this guy is the best of the best. Question. Can you trust a thief? What about, can you trust a known pathological liar? Huh? Can you trust someone who is completely rejected in hadith? Remember, the Quran is a hadith. And can you trust someone who fabricates hadiths from his anus out of thin air? Where did you get this hadith from, ya Hafs? Mr. Hafs boy, where did you get this hadith from? I just created it out of my anus. And these are the people, guys. Again, these are the people that they took their Quran from. These are the people who they took the Quran from. Rob, can you prove what you here put on the screen is true? Can you prove it from the Islamic Sunni books? Yes. Of course, I have the receipts. We open the same book that we opened earlier. Tahdhib al-Tahdhib by Ibn Hajar. And here is the link. Direct link to the pages that we're going to open about him. About who? Hafs now. It's Hafs' turn. It is Hafs' turn, right? And we're going to go to volume 2, pages 140, 140, and 141. Okay? Let's start with 140 first. 140 here. Here. Okay. We scroll down. And we find his name. Report. In the, let's say in the middle of the page. Here is the report. Report number 1664. Report 1664. Hafs himself. Hafs bin Sulaiman al-Asadi. And by the way, guys, Hafs is the stepson of Asim's teacher, by the way. So the teacher is not only his teacher, Asim, the guy that we mentioned earlier, the teacher, he's not only his teacher, but he's also not only the teacher, but also his papa. His step-papa. So he is the son, the stepson of Asim, and he's the student of Asim. Okay. And he's Abu Umar al-Bazzar al-Kufi al-Qari. Right? Short for Hafs. Hafs. So this is information about Hafs. This is information about Hafs himself. The guy behind the Hafs Quran, brother, sister. Okay? The guy behind it all. God bless you. And thank you for being here and listening to what I have to say, guys. Unfortunately, today's numbers are very small because most people are here. Clearly, guys, most of our audience are only here when we talk about funny topics that are, X-rated or other topics, But when it comes to academic topics like these, most of the audience don't care. Sadly but true, because, only 143 people are interested in today's very, very academic topic, right? Yeah. There are not many nerds like us. You're all nerds. Now, if we go to the next page, now, guys, all jokes aside, it's okay. Some people rather watch Netflix because they don't care about learning. They care about other stuff. Video gaming, video gaming is more important because when you play video games, you will earn something important. You'll achieve something important in life. Or when you watch Netflix. So on the next page, we see all kind of stuff. He is rejected in hadith. Right? He is very, very rejected in hadith. He is not to be trusted. Not to be trusted. That's what Ibn Mu'in said. That's what Abu Bakr said. He is rejected. Imam Bukhari, what did Imam Bukhari say? Look, here's Imam Bukhari. Imam Bukhari said he is rejected in hadith. Someone else said, Ibn al-Madini said, he is da'if in hadith, rejected. Imam Muslim. So if we continue the list, look, this is Imam Bukhari here who's talking. Imam Bukhari said he's rejected in hadith. Imam Muslim said he's matruk al-hadith. Imam al-Nasa'i, the writer of Sunan al-Nasa'i, he said he's not to be trusted. And it goes on and it goes on, rejected in hadith. The list is very huge, as you noticed. I'm only giving you what some people said. Abu Zar'a said he's da'if in hadith. And I highlighted some other stuff. Look, here it says, a liar. He's a liar. Liar. Liar! Rejected in hadith. He fabricates hadith. Kadhab, ya Ibn Kadhab. He's a liar. What did his fellow students say, guys? What did his fellow student say? His fellow student said, so Shu'ba. So guys, this is student number 2. Remember, Asim has 2 students. Shu'ba, Abu Bakr, aka Shu'ba, said, Hafs took a book from me. So he took a book from him, his fellow student, and did not bring it back. So he kept the book. He's a thief. He's truly a thief and a liar. And he continues. Shu'ba says he used to take books from the people, copy them, and never return them. Or let's say he basically said, I wrote these books. So guys, he was a liar. He used to take people's books and not return them. And often even he used to copy people's books. Thank you for the donation, guys. God bless you. For the $100 donation, Postman 214. Thank you so much, brother. God bless you. Thank you so much. $100. Wow. For the donation, we will spend it wisely. W for Postman. God bless you, my friend. Wow. Speechless. I'm speechless. Thank you, guys. Oof. Wow. That's $175, man. God bless you guys in total. Wow. What an amazing audience, man. Oof. Wow. So, guys, Hafs, liar, not to be accepted. He is rejected. He is not trustworthy. He used to take books, even from his fellow student Shu'ba, not return it to him. And he used to claim that he wrote those books. So we should give him a copyright strike. Copyright strike. Copyright strike to Hafs, the liar, the thief. And again, they repeat that he was a liar. Wow, twice on the same page being called a liar. He is being called a liar not once, but twice. And also a thief. Oof, 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 oof. So what you noticed, guys, I highlighted the most important part. He is a liar, rejected in hadith. He creates hadith, fabricates hadith, and he's a thief. I mean, what's left? Do you see, guys, what kind of authentic flowchart I created for all of you guys? My flowchart here is sound authentic flowchart. So, guys, and do you see what happened to the chain of narration here, guys? Do you see what I just did to the chain of narration for the Hafs Quran? Completely shattered. We just melted this best chain of narration for the Quran. We took it and we melted it, and we took a crap on it. We took a dump on it. We zooted it. Chain unchained. Guys, do you see what happens when Rob Christian comes out to play and throws an academic live stream on your dish, on your between your hands, and weaponizing you guys? This happens when we do some investigation, right, guys? This is what's going to happen when Rob Christian comes out and weaponizes the masses about the Hafs Quran and the Ahruf and the Qira'at. Right, guys? It's going to be game over. Exactly. Do you see what happened to the chain of narration? For the Quran, for the Hafs Quran? Big, red, fat cross on it. Now, guys, my name is not Rob Christian if I don't leave the best for last. My name won't be Rob Christian if I don't leave the best for last. What about Muhammad himself? So-called science of hadith. Comedy. Nothing but a comedy, right, guys? Nothing but a comedy. My name, again, is not Rob Christian if I don't leave the best for last. What do you mean, Rob, the best for last? Well, guess what? The scholars have said, we have doubt about connecting the qira'at to the Prophet. Guys, I'm going to show you, what I'm about to show you is the last big bada boom. The nuke will be dropped now. A final nuke on the Islamic faces, the Muslim faces, who said that the Quran goes back to the Prophet. Final big bada boom on your faces, Muslims. Oh boy. Because the scholars have said, the scholars of the Qira'at and Ahruf said, we have doubt about connecting the Qira'at to the Prophet. Sorry for the typo in the end, guys. But you get the idea. That's what the scholars said. That's not what Rob Christian said. Forget about me. I'm only reading. Watch. 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 First book. The book of Imam al-Suyuti. Imam al-Suyuti, brother. Imam al-Suyuti. Oh boy. What did they say, Rob? What did Imam al-Suyuti report in his book? Well, the following, ya akhwan. Let me give you the link. Here is the link. in معتلق القرآن في إعجاز القرآن by Imam al-Suyuti himself. Okay. Going to open the book. I'm making it a little bit bigger so that everybody can see that this is truly the book of Imam al-Suyuti. Look. Imam al-Suyuti. Jalal al-Din al-Suyuti himself. Okay. Anyway. Not the book of Rob Christian. No, Habibi. I'm only going to read. Open your books and read, Muslims. We're academic people. We're not like you. We read. Unlike you, you don't read. You only parrot what your Imam told you about the Quran. But when we open your books, we're going to create shubuhat. We're going to plant seeds in your hearts if you claim to be seekers of truth. You should criticize Muslims. Muslims, this is your salvation. This is your soul, your precious soul. My precious. My precious. These are your precious souls that you need to think about. Don't follow Islam, Muslims. You have been told a lie all of your lives. First page that I want to open up from this book is page in the bottom, page 124. Guys, you're with me, right, guys? I hope I'm not putting you asleep today. Guys, you really need to rewatch today's live show and rewatch it again. I know it's a bit long. You know, download it. You can download it for free if you have an app that allows you to download videos. Cut it into pieces, re-upload it on your own channels. Cut it into pieces, you know, because sometimes when it's a very long live show like this one, it's hard. But what the admins, we have beautiful admins who are already working on the timestamps. Soon they will put the timestamps under the video so you can go back again and rewatch, you know, and take notes in your time. But also download the entire video, cut it into pieces for you to, you know, make it easier for yourself, right? Because don't take today's live stream for granted. Don't take it lightly, maybe the better word to say, because it's very, very damaging. And we have a beautiful admin team, man. Blessing to be among such beautiful admins, man. Pray for our admins, guys, and pray for us, and pray for our shortcomings as well. Let's read, guys. You're ready? You're with me? Look what this scholar said. Sometimes you have foolish Muslims, layman Muslims, ignorant Muslims who will say to you, well, the 7 ahruf are the 7 qira'at. Wait, what?
Emotional, damn it!
You will have layman Muslims who will say to you, the 7 qira'at are the 7 ahruf. No, that's a big fat lie and you know it. Look. And the Makki himself said, وَقَالَ Makki, the giant 10th century scholar, is a scholar for the qira'at and ahruf from the 10th century. He lived in the 10th century, guys. He lived in the 10th century. Let me put it here on top. A 10th century scholar. Okay. This is a very early scholar. Okay. He is a very, very renowned scholar. Okay. Al-Makki al-Qaysi. His full name is Al-Makki al-Qaysi, short for Al-Makki or Makki. Right? You're with me, right, guys? Look what he said. Whoever, any Muslim who thinks that the recitation of these reciters, such as Nafa is the teacher of Warsh, and Asim, the stepfather and teacher of Hafs, was very bad in memory, remember? Okay. Whoever thinks that the recitation of these reciters, we're talking about the 7 reciters, are the 7 ahruf, the 7 letters, mentioned in that hadith that we showed you earlier, the hadith of Imam Bukhari, about the 7 ahruf, that the Quran came down in 7 ahruf, has made a grave error, a great error, a great mistake. So, what does it mean, guys? In other words, what is on the screen? In other words, if any Muslim, anyone, says the 7 qira'at, the 7 readings, or 7 qira'at are the 7 ahruf, he made a big mistake. So do not confuse the 7 qira'at with the 7 ahruf. Any Muslim who says that the 7 ahruf are the 7 qira'at, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He did a big poo-poo. Exactly. That's very important. And we go back to 2 pages earlier from the same book, page 122, 122. All right. We go up. Look what it says. This one is the nuclear bomb. And I will show you the second book as well that agrees. Look. And there's another giant scholar on the qira'at and ahruf, الزركشي, وقال الزركشي. This one is a nuclear, guys. Watch this. You're with me, right? Nuclear. And now I'm going to throw a nuke on the Quran. The qira'at are mutawatira. So what Imam al-Zarkashi admits is that the qira'at, there are 7 readings, let's say, they are mass transmitted. They are mutawatira. Right? إنها متواترة عن الأئمة السبعة. They are massively transmitted from the 7 reciters only. أما تواترها عن النبي, and here comes the boom. ففيه نظر. But trying to connect it, basically, they are not mass transmitted to the Prophet. There is doubt. It needs more investigation, i.e., it needs more investigation. In other words, guys, we do not know how to connect the 7 qira'at to Muhammad, to the Prophet of Islam. Again, the words we do not know. Ya Bayy, my dad. Daddy, what are we going to do? Rob Christian just dropped another nuclear explosion. He just caused another nuclear explosion on the face of Islam. Ya Bayy, ya Khayy. Guys, do you know the consequences of what we just read together? Muslims have told us that they have the Quran of Muhammad. They have the Quran of Uthman, but all of it is a lie. They don't know how to connect the dots. There is doubt. It needs more investigation. فَفِيهِ نَظَرٌ. It needs more investigation. Wait, what? I thought that you Muslims are 100% sure that you have the Quran of Muhammad. What do you mean more investigation? What do you mean doubt? What do you mean doubt? And that's why Yasir Qari said,
when you do a deep dive, I'm a scuba diver. When you do a deep dive, I'm a scuba diver, things get very, very awkward.
When you take deep dives like Rob Christian, things will become very awkward. Deep dives, academic research, فَفِيهِ نَظَرٌ. So the scholars need to do more investigation. I mean, for 1400 years, you didn't do enough investigation? For 1400 years, you scholars of Islam did not do enough investigation to connect the dots? Wait, what? Wait, what? يخرب بيتكم.
Emotional damage.
Scholars, يخرب بيتكم. What were you doing all that time? What were you doing for the last 1400 years? If the Quran cannot be connected, mass transmitted to the Prophet, boom, What were the scholars of Islam doing for the last 1400 years if they don't know how to connect the dots, how to connect the Quran, these 7 qira'at, to trace them back to Muhammad? How can you do that? You can do that through PayPal. There is a PayPal link, brother, in the description box, or the link is being copied and pasted every couple of minutes in the chat here. Or you can become, that's the best way, to be honest with you, to have a stable full-time ministries, Lord willing, in the future. You can become a monthly subscriber on patreon.com/RobChristian. So you can create an account, you can create a mail address, put your email address there, an account, and maybe you can buy us a coffee for $2 a month, stable income. That's the best way to support the ministry. Only, guys, please, only and only if you can. Okay, please don't feel how do I say that? Don't put pressure on yourself. Okay, guys, I know the Lord will provide, and if it's the plan of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for us to teach full-time ministry, then so be it. But we're not in full-time ministry yet. Far from it, actually. There is not enough support incoming yet, financial support, to do this full-time. Not yet. We're actually far from it. The numbers are actually dropping. I don't know why, but we used to have way more supporters in the past. I was almost there, then the numbers started to drop. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Don't feel obliged. Exactly. That's the sentence that I was looking for. Sorry for my French. But you see, guys, what we are doing. And it continues. The disaster continues. When we open more books, watch. Here is another book that basically sounds the same. More books, Rob? Yes. More books when it comes to tawatur and mutawatir and whatnot. Here is another book, and here is my link for you guys. Here is the source, the nuclear that I'm putting between your hands. Nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs between your hands. And it continues. In Al-Furqan by Ibn al-Khatib. That's the title of the book. Al-Furqan by the famous Ibn al-Khatib. On page 123. Page 123. See, guys, what kind of research I did for you to destroy the so-called preservation of the Quran. What do you mean preservation? What do you mean Quran of Muhammad? What do you mean Quran of Uthman? We destroyed it today. Okay, we go down. Same story repeated again. In the yellow part, it says that the 7 qira'at, it says the 7 qira'at are massively transmitted. So let me put some translation for you guys. The 7 qira'at are massively transmitted, but they don't know how to connect them to Muhammad again. فَفِيهِ نَظَرْ again. When it comes to connecting them, it needs more investigation. Right? وَقَالَ الزَّرْكَشِي again, الزَّرْكَشِي is being quoted. Imam al-Zarkashi here. He said, and I quote, Imam al-Zarkashi said, and I quote, al-Zarkashi, that the mass transmission, the massively transmitted qira'at to the Prophet, it needs more investigation. So what is only mass transmitted? The 7 qira'at. Nothing more, nothing less. And then in the bottom of the page, it says, there is shak. And it needs more investigation. Shak ya akhwan, doubt. Literally the word doubt is used. There is doubt. In other words, guys, there is no chain of narration. There is no chain that is connected. And that's why Yasir Qari said, stop pushing me. Stop pushing me. There is shak. There is doubt. It needs more research. It needs more investigation. What were you doing for the last 1400 years? Scholars of the Ummah, what were you doing for the last 1400 years? Were you eating out of your noses? Were you eating your boogers? What were you doing? Crazy, Sister Crazy, we're pretty much done, so you won't miss much when you leave. Thank you for being here, dear sister. Thank you for your amazing support and work in the background as an admin. And that counts for everyone. We are pretty much done because this is the last book that I wanted to show you regarding this topic. Any Muslim? Guys, no Muslim today. Oof. Shak. وبحث ونظر. Doubt, investigation, and more investigation. What were you doing then for the last 1400 years? What were the scholars of the Qiraat and Ahruf doing for the last 1400 years? What were they doing? What were they thinking? In other words, we go back to my very, very, very authentic chain of narration for the Hafs. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 defects for the Quran. This is the Hafs Quran, ya akhwan. This is the chain for the Hafs Quran. There is doubt. Didn't I tell you that I will leave the last for best, the best for last? 4 crosses. Normally we say 3 strikes, you're out. But today it's 4 strikes, you're out. Yet they dare to say the Quran has the best chain of narration. What do you mean? Why are you lying? You see, guys, I always challenged for the last 15 years that I'm doing this as a Christian apologist / polemicist. For 15 years, I've been challenging Muslims. Show me one authentic chain of narration for the Quran and I will take my shahada, I will become a Muslim. They can't. They know they can't because they are only parroting the same lies that they heard from their imams, their parents, their legal guardians, and whatnot. They have been told a lie and they repeat the same lie and deception and taqiyya over and over and over. You see it? Guys, I want to leave it there. I'm not sure if there are questions. Are there some questions? Maybe you can answer a couple of questions in the chat. If it's not too much asked, guys, please keep it on today's topic. Qira'at and Ahruf. The Quran itself, the chain of narration itself. Any questions? Anything that is not clear for you? In the chat, someone can ask a question. Pray that we will get our main account back soon. It's still banned on TikTok. My TikTok account. Is there any question regarding today's topic, today's live stream? We hit 70,000 subscribers. Glory to Christ, man. Hallelujah. Thanks to you guys. Because of you. Our precious audience. 70,000? Yay. Yeah, 70,000 subscribers. Oh man, this is awesome, man. What a day. Look guys, this is my YouTube channel, right? Look. 70,000 subscribers. Finally. With 897 videos in total. Made possible by you guys. Thank you so much, beloved audience, subscribers. I'll keep you, all of you, in my prayers. Please keep me in your prayers. Keep our beautiful admins in the blue in your prayers. Our admins on Discord. Thank you so much, guys. Without you, we could have not achieved that. 70,000. That's a good number. Maybe if more people are interested in our ministry, maybe by the end of the year, maybe we can reach 100,000 subscribers. Lord willing. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. For the people, guys, who are interested to know about my other social media accounts, if you've never seen this before, if you go back to my YouTube channel, we have all of our social media accounts here. Do you see it? Patreon, PayPal, Discord, TikTok. My second YouTube channel. People, please do me a favor. I have a second YouTube channel. If something happens to our main channel, we still have a backup channel, as you see here. So please subscribe. And we have also Facebook. We have Twitter, x.com account as well. Okay. Everything that you need is either under the description box. You see, I could only provide a couple of links here, maximum of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So more accounts. We have more social media accounts like Twitter, x.com. I had to put it in the description box because you can only get a limited number of links here, as you see in the main page. All right? Here, where you can click here. Small description about us. And then the information there. But man, 70,000 subscribers. That's an amazing number. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I think we should wrap things up. Can we answer a question? Is there any question, guys? Maybe I need to scroll back. Lord willing, man. Lord willing. Where are the harufs? Good question. Remember, there are 7 ahruf. Remember, according to Islam, there are 7 ahruf. According what we know, Uthman burned 6 of the 7 ahruf. And today, in the beginning of the live show, we proved that Imam Malik said, here in this book, we showed you the proof. Imam Malik said, the Quran of Uthman is also gone. So to answer your question, brother, real answer, all of the 7 ahruf are gone. Remember why all of them are gone? Why all the 7? Because 6 were burned by Uthman and the 7th is gone. And I will leave it there. God bless you guys. See you in a new live show. God bless. Backup channel. Please subscribe. Did you subscribe, guys?